Hi everyone, Mckaiser Dragon here, and today we have a little bit of Factorial just playing in the background. And yeah, I'm in a weird spot because it's gonna be like a mental video, so I can talk things out to myself and like just get things off my chest. Cause yeah, right now I have everything I kind of want, and I have all the game. Well, not all the games I want, but I have most of the games I want. I could get the games I want. There's no true issue with that. It's just I'm stuck in my old ways, even though I have evolved. Um, yeah, money still is like an issue, but it's not like how it used to be for me. How it used to be is like every single dollar had to be spent on something that would, I guess the simple way to put it is, change my life. uh, and bro, what's going on with this? Hello? And it's just small stuff like that. It's like getting to me right now. Like I don't know why that's happening. Why? What's going on here? Oh my god, my PC's giving me so many issues. Oh, I don't understand. What's going on? Let me check. Let me make sure my storage is fine. Yeah. Why are you disconnecting me from something? Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. That's so weird. Storage is fine. But just like small issues like that pop up and it's really annoying to deal with. But back to what I was talking about, like I guess not only the money was a big deal, but like I mean like cuz like think of it like this. I well, first let's put it to a little bit of perspective. I'm getting older, of course. And what it used to be is not what it is now, right? So like 20 years ago, if I wanted entertainment costs like a lot of money. Like you had to buy a TV. Oh, a TV? Oh, that's 3 years of saving up money. Oh, you want cable? Oh, well, that's going to be another 3 years of saving up money. You want this? Oh, you got to save up money. It was a lot of sacrifices you had to do to save money because I'd rather not get into that, but yeah, that's just how it was for me. And like in the long run, it's cheaper to buy, a console than to, every week go to the arcade to entertain yourself, right? But was it really cheaper? Maybe yes, maybe no. The thing is like the arcade you have to constantly spend your quarters, right? Well, it's just simpler to make a one-time payment. Well, it's not truly one time because then you have to buy the game. But then the point still stands. Once you have the game, you don't have to buy anything else. And that's another thing that changed over time. With games going like live service and you like I don't know why people are okay with like there's a difference between supporting a game and you needing to spend money because if not the game's going on life support and or the game might close down is two very excuse me, it's two very big and different spectrums. And so like having having to come up with money every week is much different than a quote unquote one time buy, right? Because the games that lasted us the longest was RPGs. But quite honestly, at the same time, like just buying the game, as long as the game was fun enough, I would just try my best to stretch out the hours I would have fun. And that's another thing. It's like I would stretch out the fun, and I would work hard in the game to have more fun. But in recent days, there's another thing that changed is now I'm trying to extract as much fun as possible in the moment, which is different from living in the game. And I want to go on a side tangent here, which is like Factorio and Satisfactory are two amazing factory building games. And I have fun in the early and the mid game figuring out how to get to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And then it becomes less fun when I start hitting the end game. Because everything's already kind of figured out. The only thing I'm really figuring out is how to do it on a larger scale. And a larger scale means way more work. And to me, early and mid game is like nothing. Like I'm trying, but I'm not truly trying. I get to do what I want. I get to learn what I want, and I get to experiment with what I want. But end game is where you take your knowledge and you expand upon it, and you cut out. You kind of have to cut out, like, sometimes it's fun. To me, it's not as fun, but I guess for other people that is fun. But like this, to me, this is a lot. Like having to build all this, right? Sorry, wrong button. I started, I think, around here, right? And trying to figure out what to build and trying not to take up too much space. End game. This is just part 1 of 100. Let that sink in. All of this is just part 1 of 100 in endgame. And I haven't even filled most of this out yet, right? And like the same thing kind of happens in Satisfactory for me. Is I have so much fun trying to figure out the ratios, trying to figure out how to get to the next part. Oh, okay. And trying to just maximize on what I could do in the moment. And then once things get too complicated, like to me, trying to deal with like what am I producing? Let's go by hour. I'm producing 347 explosive per minute. So, and like times that by 60. So a lot. Or am I producing 1.5 million? What? I mean, that sounds kind of about right because I'm using mods. Oh no. Wow, that's a lot. And, like, the numbers get so big, like, it's really hard to fathom it. It's really hard to space things out when you have annoying things like liquids and and all this other stuff. All these tiny little things kind of add up, and then I just don't want to play anymore because it's not as fun as it used to be. And so the main point, since I got on a long tangent, is like I can kind of apply this to like any game. Is like Call of Duty. Used to have a lot of fun in Call of Duty, just not carrying, just trying to figure out how to aim, how to shoot, where I should and shouldn't be, what guns are good and not. And and also back then it was like everyone wasn't at like this super high level. It was like everyone was, you know, trying to learn the game all together. And, well, not everyone, but, you know, a large group of the community is learning how to play the game, learning how to do this, exploring stuff. Some people are just trying to have fun. Some people do. Everyone was like doing what they wanted to do. And now, these days, I feel like everyone kind of already knows what they want to do, and they just want to dominate in the cheapest or the most skillful way possible. And like that can be fun for some time, but it's not fun for like a year. And like I don't know, these days I just kind of want to chillax. Like I want to grind, but I don't want to be like I used to be, where, well, I kind of do want to be like how I used to be, but that's not who I am now, sadly. And, you know, back then, every inch, like, back then I could truly submerge myself into the game. Like, that's how much I did not like life. And to some degrees, I still don't like life, right? But like back then, I did not exist. When I played the game, that's where I existed at. And I could be whatever game I played, I could be that person. Oh, I'm playing Final Fantasy 7, I'm now Cloud. I'm playing Final Fantasy 8, I'm now Squall. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, I'm now Sora. Oh, I'm playing Mario, I'm now Mario. I'm playing Donkey Kong, now I'm Donkey Kong, I'm Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong. And like, but now like now I don't know. There's definitely been a shift. And like going back to like I have all the games I kind of have all the games I could want to play, right? And I just don't want to play them. Like I have the Sky of 7, but I felt that grind already. I have Pal World, but unfortunately I'm kind of done with Pal World right now. And at this moment, the update hasn't hit. But I know once the update hits, I'm gonna be in Pal World. Now another thing about this is like the grind, right? There's two things. One is the game itself and the music in the game, right? I used like as long as the game had amazing music with like good gameplay or even decent gameplay, I could be there for weeks or months. just playing the game every day. These days, like, a lot of games, they don't have great music. It's either just quiet, and I can kind of see why. There's a lot of copyright laws that's just bogus. Because guess what? Something that's safe now might not be safe in 10 years. So, like, and what do I mean not safe? Like, it could change hands to someone else, and then what used to be a free music that anyone could listen to on YouTube is now, it still can be free to listen to, but like to record with that music is not free anymore. And if you want to use the music in any other area, it now costs money. And this is more like a newer thing, because like streaming wasn't always around, and sharing, and that's something else. Like back then, streaming, forget about it. Streaming costs an extreme amount of money, and ain't nobody got money for that. Now streaming, all you need is a computer, the software, and you're golden. You can stream to 10,000 people, 100,000 people. But back then, oh man, good luck. I don't even know the prices of it back then. But go ask around how much it would cost you to stream for an hour back in like the year 2000. Holy hell. And like, so going back, right? The music. The music really kept me in the video games atmosphere and really kept me in the game. And yeah, like I said, it's not the same these days with a lot of them. A lot of them just get quiet after a while, or their music isn't as in depth or like complex or something once again that would change my life. And like, I'm gonna pause this music for a second. Let me see. I'm actually gonna stop the recording real quick. So like, I'm just gonna play. Well, I'm not playing them on like a video, right? I'm just gonna, you know, say, well, whatever. It's gonna come from my own mouth, right? All right. What game is this from? Ba da 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 da. Boom. Anything from, it's from Mario. Everyone that played a Mario game, they know that's from Mario, right? And there's a definite deep impact to the Mario games. There's definite deep impact to Final Fantasy game, Kingdom Hearts, to some degree Shadow Hearts, but not many people know about that game. But like all these big old titles, they didn't just have amazing gameplay. They had phenomenal music, which really puts you in and really, really makes you remember, like Donkey Kong's music. There's so many Kirby, so many good old games that had such great music. I want to play the song again. I thought I was gonna do that. I'm too embarrassed to do all that. Final Fantasy's boss music, just go anywhere in Final Fantasy and their music's just a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10. Star Ocean's another good one. Street Fighter. Oh man, now it's a different type of music, and a lot of these fighting games than what their old music used to be. Yeah, and then of course some racing games. Some of the old racing games had great. They just picked the right tracks to play. And then the other part of this is like, once I got sick of hearing, or not, well, yeah, kind of sick of just hearing the game music, I could just put on my own music and still play the game, like just super no life. And I don't know what's wrong with me right now, but I only want to hear the game music. I don't want to play my own music. And that has like multiple reasons where like one, the music I will want to listen to, I've already listened to it for years on end. So it's not something I want to be blasting in my ears for like a whole month. Another reason is like the other type of music I like, I don't have it on like an MP3 player or somewhere where I can watch it ad free. I mean, technically now I do, but like they're, YouTube's fighting back against that. So, and then the last reason is, which also comes back around to the entertainment, right? 20 years ago, YouTube wasn't this big, right? The content was like people were putting out what they thought was cool rather than what they think is going to be good content for everyone. And also games do that too now. Back then, if they could sell 1 million copies, that was phenomenal. And now, a lot of game companies not only want to sell to tens of millions of people, if not hundreds of millions of people, but now with mobile games, they want to sell and then also make profit up to the high ranking mobile games, and you could look that up, which is like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, all the top mobile games. That's just and it's weird to me to see people just throwing money at games when they put in some work, but how much work? Like, is it the best work they could do? Is it, I don't know how to explain this without sounding like rude about it, but like I just don't see it. I just don't see, because there's so many mobile games and they all basically play the same. And this is what I get from every mobile game that has a cash shop, and it's, hey, I made a game, now give me money. And if you don't give me money, your gameplay's gonna suffer. And I loathe that. I loathe that so much. And sure, you can work towards, long-term goals, right? But at the end of the day, if you're trying to be as efficient as possible, the best way to be efficient is to spend real life money on the game. It is not to wait. Waiting is not efficient. Because with these games, if you're not spending money, you're falling behind. And that's That's a weird way to look at it at the same time, because do you need to be in competition with other people? No. But a lot of those mobile games do have leaderboards where you are in competition. There are competitions. And, if you're trying to extract as much fun out of the game as possible without spending money, and every time you squeeze down, a thorn hits your hand, and you're like, oh, that hurt. I don't want to do that again. Or what is going on with you, computer? Give me a second. I don't even know what's going on. I'm not even moving anything, game. What's going on here? Oh my god. Why? I see it. Is it over here? Why did you switch your display? Oh, what is this? Hello? Look at this. I've just been talking to you guys, right? And this is how my display looks. Why is my display changing on me? Oh my god. It's supposed to be like this, right? No? Okay. 2 goes over here. 3 goes over here. Why are these like super tiny now? What's going on? I'm gonna have to restart my PC. Are you choking me? Oops. Nope. Revert that, please. I think this one's good. Yeah, this one's supposed to be bigger than that one. Let's move this up a little bit. Oh my god. Bro, I'm just recording. I don't know. I think Streamlabs OBS is doing something. It's either that or Factorio's really acting up for no reason. And I have no clue why. You know what? Let me unplug my keyboard. I'm just gonna keep this in. I'm too lazy to fix this. Cause sometimes your keyboard, like, there's shortcuts you don't even know. And you might hit one of the shortcuts and you might be doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Oh, let me oh my god. Oh my god, that stressed me out. Now I'm off topic. Oh no, dude, I was in somewhat of a zone. Yeah, basically, what she was talking about is like mobile games, right? Yeah, I just can't stand that. I can't stand. Yeah, so like I was trying to say, like every time you're trying to squeeze that lemon to extract like as much juice, which is the game. Every time you try to squeeze down too hard, there's a thorn in the lemon that pricks you, that pricks your hand, right? And to get rid of that thorn, you gotta spend real money. I just hate that. I don't know how people are okay with that. But at the same time, guess what? The world has changed. The world's not the same as it used to be 20 years ago. And soon, the world won't be the same as it used to be 20 years ago. And that's saying 20 years into the future, right? And like, no one really knows what's gonna happen. But in the moment, right now, gaming is just it's going in spots I don't like. Always need to be online. Always needing more money to be put into the game. More like to me, I feel like a lot of the games, they don't want their investment of making a game to be actually I don't know how to put it, but basically how I see it is like they rather have, you know, the players spend their money constantly to keep the game running rather than, you know, they're doing it because they want to supply a great experience for whoever wants to play their game, to have this super amazing good time. And like, thinking about it, I would rather have games like make a Patreon where people can just donate there if they love their game that much. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of games overstep that type of boundary where, and you could definitely see in the mobile games, it's like we made the game, and sure they don't say it directly, but if that mobile game doesn't do well enough, it gets shut down. Because it is very expensive to keep a game running online all the time, right? And it's a lot of work and a lot of stress to do that. But you know, all is good as long as we make, you know, 50 mil per month. That's great. And so, overall, I'm just gonna be slowly step away from those games, and I'm gonna try to reconnect my brain to games that just don't want, you know, as much money from me and the community as possible. And what games are those? You know, New World. And that's kind of like a double-edged sword to me because I love MMORPGs, but they've changed over the years. And you know, two prime examples is one is New World, which is supposed to be, you know, buy once and then, you know, the game's all yours. And then, what was it, Lost Ark, where it's free to play, but you gotta spend, if you want to keep up with the community, you gotta spend a lot of money to try to keep up and you know, get those upgrades. And those are like two where they just kind of died off because people don't want to keep. It's like, it's more than just keeping up with spending all the money. It also becomes routine, and after a while certain routines just become boring. And if they're not, you know, complex enough, and all you're doing is, oh, I'm just waiting for the next boss. Oh, here's the next boss. The boss was amazing, we killed him. Alright, now I have to wait for the next boss. Because what the regular normal PvE stuff is just, you're so strong, it doesn't really matter. And guess what? Guess where we're at right now with that type of game? We're at endgame. And so if your endgame isn't super juiced up, and all you have is a boss and some new zones to clear out, it only takes 2 weeks to clear all that out, what are you gonna do for the next 6 months while you're still creating more endgame for them? Well, not much, even though there's a cap to how strong you can get in New World, which is also a big problem in my eyes. Because that's it's a problem because that's what their game's about. It's getting as strong as possible. But there's a cap. And you don't hit that cap unless you spend a lot of money or months of your life. And there's no like, well, if you do this, you can shave off 2 months and catch up real easily. That doesn't come until the next expansion or, you know, the next update. And by then, that type of power is weak. And the new type of power is way much stronger. and so it's just routine. The routine is it's just I don't know how to put it. The routine becomes, oh, I'll see you guys in 2 months because I don't want to spend money on the game because I gotta grind, and because people don't want to play. If I have 100 million power, and no, if you have 100 million power because you spent your money, and I only have 30 million because I'm still working on it, are they gonna want to play with me? No, but as all the 100 million power plus power people be end game and have nothing else to do, they move on to new games, and maybe the 50 million power people, well, they might need me, but if there's any 100 million people still around, they'd rather have them over 30 million, and that's how it just is. And like the other thing is like the community side, right? Community is, I feel like the gaming community is just all over the place. There's so many games. There's so much stuff to do. There's so much entertainment like YouTube, Twitch, what Netflix, this, that, where all that stuff used to be like non-existent back in the day. And also your systems wasn't that strong to play, like okay, let's put it this way. If you had a console, well, guess what? The only thing you can do is play the game. It wasn't until like PS3 and Xbox 360 where you could start, going on the web browser. They kind of start trying to make consoles more like computers. A console was just something to play games on, and a little bit of CDs, and computers way back in the day. Well, we didn't really have graphics cards. Only like rich people had graphics cards, and it's just like without a graphics card, system slow. The internet was slow. Downloading, 1 gigabyte took like 8 to 12 to 15 to maybe even 20 hours to do. So it was like a 3-day project sometimes, especially if your internet was really slow and kept cutting out. Oh my god. Loading web browsers was extremely slow. I remember I used to go to like a school, our school was next to a real library, and I would go after school because my mom couldn't immediately pick us up from school, so I would go hang out at the library, and they had you can only be at one computer an hour at a time, but if there's another open computer, you can just register for the next open computer for another hour. Or if there wasn't even that many people there, you could just stay at that computer until it got too populated, right? So it's just like I'll use their computer with their internet, and their internet was trash. It will sometimes take, just think about this, it will sometimes take 5 whole minutes just to load one web page. One web page. Now, I'm mad if it takes 2 seconds. If a web page takes more than 2 seconds to load, I'm already mad. Oh, all those were the days. But like I was trying to, getting back on topic, like, where the hell am I? Okay. Yeah, like, even though you had a computer, most people only had one monitor, and you can do 1 to 2 things at a time. Like, you could have a web page up and then have your game, and that was about it. There wasn't YouTube, and if you did have YouTube, well, good luck trying to play YouTube and play a game, because that'll lag your internet. Good luck if anyone wants to call on an actual telephone, because that could interrupt your internet experience. Man. Just the amount of things. That's just. And I guess the main point, since I've been dancing around this all the time, my main point is, like, I don't know, the games these days, well, I don't know where to start this, but basically, games, because it's not like this for everyone. It might be this for, like, some groups of people, but, like, everyone has mental problems, right? And everyone says, oh yeah, just go see a therapist. My therapist was video games, because going to a real therapist took, guess what? You gotta pay them every time you visit. You can't just go one time and be fixed. It's like depending on your issues, it could take months, if not years, to fix. And that's a lot of money. And games, what they're back when they not only were this good, but, like, back also when I could just throw my whole mental state into the game itself and have years of just games to play. That was the best therapy ever. And now, I don't know, a lot of games are shallow. A lot of games are missing certain types of depth that older games just don't have. A lot of these newer games are trying to be politically correct and stuff and all this, rather than have an experience to remember. I feel like I talked enough now. I think I hit all my points I wanted to talk about. I didn't do it all the ways I wanted it to. But this is also just something I want to talk about, because, like I said, right now I have a bunch of games to play. I just don't want to play. I just don't want to play those games right now. But over here, move. Prestige. And it's crazy. I don't know. But all I know, once Pal World comes out with their crazy update, I'm gonna be playing Pal World. Nothing better than some Pal World. And now I'm just gonna get bored of it, because... And another thing is, like, back then, like I had to value the time I had with the games, because not all the time I get. But since I had way more time on my hands, now I have to spend 8 hours a day at work. And then 2 hours just to get, well, luckily for me, just 1 hour to get to work. To get to work and back is only 1 hour. So 9 hours of my day, Plus, lunch naturally included. So 10 hours of my day dedicated to work. But yeah, I might replay High on Life because like the fighting games back then, you would just play whatever you learned through your battles. That was good enough. And now that's not good enough. You gotta grind and practice mode, practice your combos, practice your setups, practice how you want to approach things, practice this, practice that. Oh my god, it is so stressful to play fighting games online. You can't just chill, beat some people up, lose to some people, have a great time. Everyone's just out to win in the cheapest way possible. Yeah, because if it wasn't like that online with Tekken, I would play Tekken way more. Like, to me, combos is something you do by playing the game a lot. But it's hard to play the game a lot when most people want to just practice your combos through practice mode and then just jump on rank or even on casual matches and well, oh, you didn't know this one interaction? Well, now I launch you, and then you lose 40 to 60% of your health. And then you gotta guess again. Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, there's way more entertainment to be had through other means other than video games. So I don't know, these days I'm just distracted. I want, rather than listening to music like I used to do when I get bored of the game music or even listening to the game music, now I just want to be watching someone else play a game or someone else doing something while chilling out and putting 20% of my attention span on the game. Is really weird, but that's kind of where I'm at. And what happens is the second monitor entertainment becomes the main monitor entertainment, and then what's supposed to be my main monitor, which is the game, well, I either just don't want to play it, or I don't know, I'm just not. I have to be too focused on the game, which is, like I said, something weird to me, where most of my life it's just used to be the game's the most entertaining part of my life. Now it's not anymore, and it's not. There's kind of two stages to this, which is my console phase and then my MMO phase. And console phase kind of died off. I don't really play consoles anymore. And then the MMO phase is like, it's there, but it's just not the same. I don't know, these companies are just pushing too hard to try to, make everyone spend their money, rather than give the players a space to live their life, to live their second life, I should say. But yeah, yep, I think I'll end it here. 40-minute video of me just ranting about stuff. Because technically I could be making more types of videos like this, or not like this, but like where I rant about things I don't like about gaming and stuff, but my voice doesn't reach far at all, and no one really responds. So, The other thing is, like, I was falling asleep just watching other YouTube videos, honestly, and I don't want to go to sleep, so I just made this video instead because I was feeling. I don't know, I was feeling like I want to play. I want to play a game, but I want to play a game with amazing music that really sucks me in. And technically, technically, I do have that. I really need to get back to Baldur's Gate 3. I did not play that game enough, but at the same time, Baldur's Gate 3 is like, I don't know. It's one of those headache games to me. I'm used to grinding to make the game easier, and you can't truly grind in Baldur's Gate 3. You can fight things, but they don't respawn. So you constantly are on an adventure to find new things to fight. But every time I turn the corner, that new thing is too strong, and then I'm just dead. Or you go to this one area where you can't really access because there was a bunch of guards and stuff, and then oh look, a treasure room. Let me see what's in this. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, there's 400 traps in this one room. Oh wow, I'm dead. Well, okay, for real this time I'm gonna end the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Try and get a base going. Okay, the last thing I'll say to wrap this video up is, these days, or back in the day, I used to just love wasting my time playing games. And now, these days, I don't want to be wasting my time. I want to have as much fun as possible with as little work as possible. I don't want to try too hard. You know, this guy is decent at that, but like this guy, so yeah, that's kind of the main point. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. Oh, one point of like the opposite of like New World and Lost Ark is Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 is a fantastic MMORPG. Great music, great battles, great bosses. The only thing that can ruin it is the community. And that's what how I play games and how I interact with people is definitely not how the community does things. And like the only bad thing about Final Fantasy 4, well, not the only thing, but like the community isn't super amazing all the time, I should say. It can be amazing, but not all the time. And then a lot of them are just super lazy. Like lazier than me. Like they don't want any challenge. Once it gets challenging, they're out. And for me, Final Fantasy 14 is just not even a challenge until, what is it, Shadowbringer, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Shadowbringer. I think I have Shadowbringer. I don't have Endwalker because I wanted to complete the raids and ultimates, and I want to complete so much of the raids, but that's when it started getting extremely complex, and it turns into, if you wasn't there when everyone was trying to do it, then it turns into you're either playing with a bunch of experienced people that already know how to do it and they're just holding your hand through their experience, or you have a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, that don't have enough time to spend doing the raid, and they can only do it, once. They only want to do it once a week, Where me, I want to raid every single day for as long as possible. Yeah, so yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Alright. See you next time for real, hopefully.